Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome here at Crypto Hash Review, where we educate and disseminate information about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies from a Muslim perspective. We will continue our conversation about money, what makes money money, or attributes of money, what people put forward as attributes of money. And today we're discussing what we call unforgeable costliness. Unforgeable costliness. That basically means that the value or the money or the effort needed to bring this money into existence cannot be easily forged. So let's explain this further by demonstration. So with debt, for example, if I said to you, build for me the classic wall. I want a wall around a fence around my building. Build for me a fence, and you say, okay, fair enough. I'll do that for you. It will take me about 3 days. Are you happy with that? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So I'm gonna write down that I owe you the value of a day's worth of work to build a fence. Fair enough. Now, this IOU that I've wrote that I owe him something for this work has value in itself. That message, those words on that piece of paper has value. Especially if it needs to be redeemable. That has actual value. If you lose that, you've lost value. What's that value? The work that you did to bring it into existence. And if you failed to do the work, then that has no value because you didn't do the work. So I can say that the value of debt comes from the effort and the time put into earn that debt. So historically speaking, all money stemmed from work, effort, time, and skill put into that debt. So I guess you can say debts have 5 out of 5 for that one. And items and commodities are pretty much the same thing. Now, not to get all technical and philosophical, but with entropy, there's something called entropy. Entropy basically means the natural tendency for creation to, I'm going to break it down very simply, to decay and degrade. We say decay and degrade, but actually in a physical term it means just to return to uniformity. But the point is, it's natural for things to go from orderliness, for something being orderly, to go into chaos. Whereas items are the opposite of chaos. So for example, this cup here, there are certain atoms and colors and whatnot that have been organized and structured in a way that now it is a cup. So I've made something which is chaotic, which is just a random clay on the ground, and then I've formed it and shaped it into something that is now orderly. And likewise, computers, random materials and ores and stuff like that, refined, constructed, put together in a way, in an orderly fashion, so now that orderly fashion is now the item. Same thing with shells, even, or mammoth tooth, or eggshells. These are all examples of creation going from chaos, disorder, now becoming orderly into a particular item, you could say. So that effort that it takes to make chaos into order, it takes effort, it takes time. And that's what gives things value. The more time it has, the more effort it needs, the more value it has, generally speaking. So items, commodities, gold even, all these things, they get 5 out of 5 from me because they all require, by necessity, effort. Even if the effort is just to look for it. As in, something which is rare, I have to go out and have to spend time looking for it to make it exist. So these all take time and effort. Even those circular rock discs that existed on the Yap Island, they had to go onto the boat, go to another neighboring island, etch these discs out of the mountain side, bring it onto a boat, bring all that added time and effort and then value. So 5 out of 5. Fiat money, on the other hand, the money that we have in our hands, they press a button, press enter, and there you go. Now they have their, what's it called? They have their money existence. So therefore, money, fiat money, there is no effort involved to bring it into existence. So therefore, does it have value? Yes, it does. And its value is futuristic. Meaning that because it's issued from loans, essentially the value of fiat money comes through what will be rendered in the future. And that was, you can almost say, the pinnacle turning point of fiat money from previous money, is that all previous money required work to exist. Fiat money was the first money that didn't require work to exist, but it required work to be rendered in the future. So essentially, you're taking productive power, human productive power in the future, and bringing it forward into money that is now produced. So I'll go to the bank, say I need a loan. This loan is now creating new money out of thin air. And now with that money, I will do stuff and I'll pay for this and I'll do that and I'll make my business and I'll generate income. That was all work rendered after the money was produced. So it's different. It's the other way around, complete other way around. And this is, you could say, the paradigm shift. But the problem with that is that you can only take money from the future for so long. As in, when the future comes, you have to take more money from the future. And then when that future comes, then you have to take more money from the future. But the problem is that when you bring productive power from the future to now, you've now increased the money supply, the circulation of money supply, which in result reduces the value of this now, because there's now more money that was available than before. Simple supply and demand. So therefore, when the future does come, you need even more money than you used to have before to do the same thing. Hence, we have this spiral where you need increasingly more and more money to keep up from the future. Just in 2020, the US government printed, I think, more than, or just about 3/4 of the entire money supply in the history of the United States. They printed 3/4 of it just last year. So that just shows you that it's spiraling out of control, where they need to create more and more just to keep up with the demand. So therefore, we find that it's very weak in terms of unforgeable value. Its value is only enforced by law. It's only something which is almost like a myth and a mirage. And at some point, like it has always happened and will happen, it will eventually collapse, because the value, there's no intrinsic value there. There's nothing you have to do first to make it occur, as opposed to Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually is a return back to how money used to be. In order to have a Bitcoin, you have to exert effort and time to get there. You can't just get there when you like. You have to exert effort and time first to get there. About 10 minutes. 10 minutes of global effort. All the computers, servers across the world, all trying all at once to find this unique number or hash, to lock in this block of information, to make this block have value. That's the value of Bitcoin, this global effort. And this is why we say Bitcoin gets 5 out of 5, just like the previous types. But 5 out of 5 because its value cannot be forged. You cannot fabricate a Bitcoin. You cannot forge a Bitcoin. You cannot just make it come into existence because you want it to be. No, in order to have more Bitcoin, you have to work for it. And this is the value of Bitcoin. We hope you found this video useful and beneficial. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to give us a shout, you can find our details on our website. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.